Hey, what's up, guys? This is Mage, and I've got Mog with me today. We're going to be casting a qualifier replay. It features in the top left corner, Audigy. In the top right corner, we have Prometeus. In the bottom right corner, we have Magadansky. Go. And in the bottom left corner, we have Nightmare.im, who's better known as Bryan. And I'm not entirely sure, but I believe this game is a win and get in match for each one of these players, actually. Do you have any idea on that, Mog?
I think you're right. Bryan might already be in it. He won a match, his first match, I think.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure. He might not have shown his second, so he might still have to win. I don't know. The other three, for sure, it's a win. They need to win.
Okay. And this is on the FML version of Twisted Meadows. The only difference, as you can see, I'm in the top corner here, is that it's removed the island and made it a ramp there so that you can get back to your mine there quicker. However, it's a pretty good map for allowing early fights, action-packed games, and obviously you're not going to be able to creep that high.
Yeah, the creeping is pretty poor, and also, more notably, there's not a lot of good item drops. So, for long free-for-all games, there's not really any high-level items that you need to be concerned about.
Yeah, and it makes the markets even more important just because you want to make sure that you're able to... oh, there we go. Just because you want to make sure that you stack up on scrolls. I mean, you want somewhere to spend your money, and you're not going to be able to stack up on amulets of spell shield, etc., etc.
Yeah,
exactly. It does look like we're having pretty standard heroes all around. We've got a Blade Master, DK, Archmage, and I'm sure the last hero coming out will be a Death Knight for Magadansky as well, if he decides to ever build it. There we go.
His Ziggurat's not done yet.
Yep.
He's just a horrible noob, actually. That's why.
Awful player. But yes,
It'll be interesting to see how they open their creep patterns. I really never watched free-for-all games on this map. Obviously, it's a very popular 1v1 map, so I know those kind of creep patterns. But
I think they should probably be similar. I mean, it's gonna be humans gonna militia creep the Goblin Lab. The Orc will be able to take down the gnolls, and then Death Knight. Actually, Audigy going for Death Knight harassing instead of getting his skeletons to creep, so...
Yo, what is he scouting with his Death Knight, or he really wants to harass?
It's actually could be a pretty good harass, though, if he had been a little bit later. Since it is a human, he could pick off a militia or two, maybe. He's going to be able to make this annoying for Bryan, at least, which may lead to Bryan just rushing him out, but...
Yeah, that's true.
Circlet of Nobility for Prometeus, and then we can see Magadansky with his DK taking forever. Going to go ahead and use the standard creep pattern here as well. But Bryan was prevented from creeping that, so he's going to move on to the market, it looks like.
No, he's bypassing it. What is he doing?
He must be going for the Gnoll
What a
camp?
bad start.
I don't
he
know.
should have like a level 2 Archmage by now.
Yeah. He's going for the green. Well, that was a complete waste of militia.
Wow. How anticlimactic.
He is teching up to keep already, though, so he is a little bit behind Audigy in terms of teching. And
he's going to harass Prometheus now.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here.
This is bad. This is just bad play. I mean, I can understand maybe you want to rush someone. Obviously, Audigy is known for Necromancer rushing his neighbor, especially if it's an elf. And but you don't want to piss off two people at the very start.
And
right?
you'd also like to have a level 2 Death Knight if you're going to do a Necro Rush. I mean, you want the aura.
Yeah, the aura helps, but, you know, I guess if you're going to rush someone, keeping them low level is maybe even more important than... I don't know. I think his strategy is bad anyways, so I'll just refrain from...
Prometheus would be the person to Necro Rush if he is going to Necro Rush somebody. However, Orcs are also the hardest to do any type of damage with, just a Death Knight.
And actually, I think Necro Rush is pretty good against human, because they aren't really usually going to have priests with the spell out in time. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, because I don't...
Yeah, but...
So...
They're also going to have Arcane Towers, which...
Yeah,
are going to end up getting some of it. We do see Magadansky, the only one with any type of normal creep pattern going on right now. And he is going towards Bryan. So it's interesting because I did not see any of them talk about which way they were going to expand, so we could see some confusion on the expansions here.
Well, and I heard, and I didn't watch the game, I just was reading some chat from another Just a Meadow game where someone was saying that they have naturals like you shouldn't have to say clock or counterclockwise because apparently one of these expansions is supposed to be your natural. But
I believe
I don't see
Magadansky
it.
is actually going for the natural, just because of the way that it's built. But there's really, yeah, there's no way that you're going to get everybody in game agreeing as to which way the natural qualifies as.
Yeah, I had never heard that. I thought they were pretty much equal distance. Or whatever.
I think it's just the way the map is sculpted, but I could be wrong. It wouldn't be the first time. It wouldn't be the last time.
Meanwhile, Prometeus got the TB point. He killed Audigy's Death Knight.
Yeah. And for those unfamiliar, TB point is the tiebreaker point. This is used in determining both map voting as well as any tiebreakers later on. And this round's objective was the first person to get a hero kill got the tiebreaker point.
So Audigy, meanwhile, picked up a Dark Ranger second. I mean, he still has a level 1 Death Knight, so I don't
Maybe
see
he's
this.
decided that he needs to do some type of creeping, and he's unable to do it without the Dark Ranger.
Yeah, that could be.
Audigy also whining about lag, while Magadansky has 3 times his lag.
Yeah. Classic.
Yep, not the first time.
300 ping, that's really bad for Maga.
That's actually about average for what Maga plays with, though.
Oh, really?
He's usually between 180 and 300.
I knew he always had some lag, but 300 is like, that's really bad.
Yeah,
is he gonna lose? He's gonna lose a shredder, it looks like.
It looks like he's managed to pull off the creeps from focusing on it. But if you consider that a normal Battle.net game has 250 seconds... Oh, wow, he did lose it.
Oh my gosh, yeah. You must be a little bit
hurts.
ahead of me.
250 MS for the natural input lag. So 300 is basically playing with a 50 MS. Here we go. We do have a quick little fight going on here between Bryan and Audigy. Looking like Audigy's decision to harass him early on may have come back to bite him a little bit.
Yeah, well, and this is the way that Bryan would expand, and Audigy is trying to expand.
And as we saw, no talking does lead to some issues. There's not enough mana to coil from his Death Knight, so he's losing all of these fiends pretty much instantaneously.
Yeah, Audigy's getting destroyed right now.
Well, this doesn't appear to be going very well for him.
No, he needs to cancel that expansion.
He's not canceling it, though. And he does have a TP at least, so he can get out. But
if he wants to use it, maybe.
So I like the farm being built here to go ahead and trap him.
Finally.
Okay, does TP out there, and it looks like Maga, I'm not sure if he's going for creeping, if he's going to try and push onto... No, he's going for creeping, okay.
Oh, and Maga picked up a Scourge of Bone Chimes. That's not that bad of an item. I mean, that way he doesn't have to worry about getting it on his Dreadlord.
Yeah, that's true. Although, I mean, it's just the equivalent of level 1.
He has Fiends, but I mean, I'm assuming later in the game he'll get some Gargoyles, maybe.
And it's a good amount that you can sell it for, at least.
Yeah, that's true, too.
Picking up the Vitality, though, that's the bigger help.
Yeah.
And Prometeus like playing with danger here.
Bryan's rushing at... Well, it's not really a rush at this point,
just,
but...
Yeah, kind of realizing how weak Audigy is and pushing onto him.
Yeah.
And it does seem like this was a little bit of a late setup for the Necro Agons. I mean, Audigy had the quickest tech on the field. And we are going to see the Death Knight is going to go down to the Archmage there. And Brewmaster is going to go down momentarily as well. So level 2 Dark Ranger, we'll see if that's enough to keep it off here with the ghouls coming out. If you can pull off a surround on the Archmage.
Yeah, you should have got
but in comes Prometeus. We'll see Prometeus does still kill.
Gosh. Wow.
Yep. And Archmage goes ahead and blizzards himself too.
When you piss off 2 people... I mean, there's no reason Prometheus should have been there right now. You know what I mean? Except for maybe he was thinking, oh, I got harassed by him earlier. I'll just go see if I can kill something.
Although I'm not sure what type of player Prometheus is. I mean, it's entirely possible he's a player that happens to harass quite a bit more.
Yeah, it could be. But I don't think... Well, I don't know. I don't know Prometheus at all. It looks like he's finally maybe going to get an expansion here on the top.
Prometheus not very happy. So when was this match played, do you know?
This was played this morning. Or this afternoon. It was really recent.
Oh, okay. Then the reason it was not played is because you had 3 weeks to play the damn match.
Yeah. Maga's taking another expansion, which he shouldn't be allowed. I use the word allowed, but you know what I mean. Like, someone should notice that he took
and call him out on it, yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't had anybody attempt to creep the red creep camps behind the
Yeah,
bases
that's
yet, which is weird.
interesting.
Because they're not
We're already
particularly hard
at
to
10
take down.
minutes.
Yeah.
I think you're like a second or two ahead of me, by the way.
There we go. I paused it for a second and a half. Hopefully that'll solve it.
Okay,
Maybe
I'm
I
at
can
10,
just
12.
maybe I can just predict the future.
That's alright, that's not that big of a deal. You're just going to spoil 1 second into the future for me.
I can live with that. So Prometeus now hitting Magadansky as well. That's the second time that he's kind of creep-checked Maga. It'll be interesting to see if Maga decides to start pushing towards him as well, since we know Magadansky does not take particularly kindly to players hitting him.
No, but it's a small map, and Maga's creeping basically in Prometheus's area, so it's not like he can say, like, oh, why are you creep-jacking me across the map? Like, he's right outside his base.
It's free-for-all. You can absolutely say that.
And many people do. Prometheus is going to lose a grunt to this creep, I think.
He did indeed.
I hope he meant to do that. What's the up bet?
Let's see
It's
what
at
the food is at.
42.
It's 42, yeah. I mean, it doesn't hurt him too much. He's doing very well in wood compared to Magadansky, who's not doing very well in wood.
Well,
And
Maga lost his shredder at the beginning, if you remember.
I do remember that. It was embarrassing.
Oh, it looks like Audigy's finally going to creep the corner, but he doesn't realize he doesn't need a Zeppelin.
And this,
I love
folks, is
that.
why you should actually play the map.
Oh, gosh, and
Oof.
man, Prometheus is creep-jacking everybody.
Bryan got a stone token out of that. It's a pretty good item.
Who got it?
Bryan got a stone token. He
Oh.
creeped his red camp.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
He does not have a TP at the moment, however.
He also left a rifleman to defend the corner.
Hey, you never know when that Zeppelin's could come and try and take it.
You're right. So let's see if Prometheus is. He goes back, but you would think he would go creep jack because he knows Audigy wants to creep the corner right now.
Yeah,
it looks
although
like he's gonna go-
maybe he's trying to be friendly and not creep jack, or maybe he's just going to go do it now.
yeah, it looks like he's gonna go now. This is gonna be really bad. Audigy doesn't have
Yeah.
a teleport.
This is really bad timing. And it will not be hard to take that Zeppelin down either.
No.
Especially as it goes right into...
Oh boy.
Yeah. Although I guess maybe at least it gave a little warning, I suppose, but not like it's going to help
try to buy
Audigy.
some time, but he can't get out. I mean,
Yeah.
what is he gonna do?
Rage quit soon.
That's probably the best
Actually-
possibility.
Yeah, this
Okay,
is...
yeah.
Fiends are not going too well here.
I mean, Fiends are good against Wyvern, but not when they're equal numbers and there's higher level Blade
the
Master and
TC
Farm.
keeps stumping it.
Yeah. Go Alkalites, do your thing.
Yes, I think Audigy has given up here. He made no attempt to try and run away, and we have Bryan incoming as well. Which actually
Oh,
does...
gosh, it's funny.
So Prometheus does have a TP. He will be able to get out of the way if Bryan encounters him. And
Brian's gonna... Is he gonna kill the Death Knight? Nope, he's
No.
going... He was going to the corner, it looks like.
and this could be the rage quit. Yep, there
Oh,
we
he
go.
does, yeah.
So interesting choice here by Bryan to pick up the Panda as a second hero. This is not uncommon. However, it's an interesting choice on this map, I think, just because I feel
Yeah.
like the gold count is lower, so you're not going to encounter huge armies the way you normally would. And I would think Mountain King's stun would be worth a lot more on a small map like this.
I kind of understand. I think Panda in general is good against Orc when you're human because Blizzard and the Haze Breath of Fire combination along with Slow and Spellbreakers, it's just really strong against Orc. And against Undead, it's not bad either.
Yeah, I mean,
Obviously,
it's definitely-
Panda is against Undead. But the Mountain King is great against Undead as well with at high level, of course, with the stun plus Paladin. I think either can work. It just depends on what style he wants to play.
Yeah, I mean, they certainly can work, and I've had the misfortune of playing Persuade when he was playing with the Panda, since that's his normal go-to. And it was incredibly annoying, but I'm really surprised on a small map like this, that's what he would choose, and we're going to have another fight incoming here between Prometheus and Bryan. Prometheus does not look like he really wants to take this fight right now.
No. Meanwhile, no one has touched Maga, and he's just kind of
Yeah.
odd. I mean,
Down goes the Paladin. And this is not
This-
actually going badly
is-
for Prometheus so far. We'll see if he can micro these Wyverns out of the Blizzard and not have them die
doesn't
to it.
look like it. Good thing Blizzard is strong against your own units.
Yeah.
I mean, overall, it wasn't that bad for either. They both killed a little worse for Bryan, but
Yeah, but let's check down on Maga. So Maga is building up everything. He's got 2,600 gold, 6,600 food, while he's at an 80 food army, going heavily for the Fiends and Destroyers Frostworm combination right now. Pretty good combination against either of other players who Bryan only has 854, while Prometeus is at 446. So if Magadansky decides to go ahead and push one of them right now, I could see him rolling through whoever he does hit.
Yeah. I mean,
especially as they continue to fight here, and the hand does go down.
Wow. He could kill Prometheus right now if he wanted to.
Yeah.
I mean, well, he should know, actually. He's scouted pretty well with the Shade just now.
And, oof, Bryan just gets the Zeppelin out of the way here.
Yeah, he's really trying to work the Zeppelin. Yeah, I don't know what Mag is going to do here. He stocks up on items. I mean, he definitely looks like he's about to hit someone.
Yep. Just going ahead.
But I think he should have hit the Orc.
I would think
especially
so,
since
too.
he expanded second toward that direction, you know?
Mm-hmm. Although, I mean, honestly, I think he could take out whichever player he did decide to hit right now. But naturally, I would be inclined to hit the Orc first, you're right.
And he only has one tower in his main base, too, so I know the Blade Master's strong, but it's
probably
only
okay
get worse
when
later.
it's, yeah.
I don't really, I mean, Maga had good creeping, of course, since he was left alone this whole time, but he didn't really get very good items. I mean, he got a Scroll of Restoration, not really the item you want.
No, he got a Clause 9, which is pretty good for the Lich.
That's pretty good. And the Belt of Strength is pretty good for the Death Knight.
I'm really surprised that Maga just seems kind of at an impasse right now. This is very unlike him to just kind of wander around aimlessly like this.
Yeah, it's like he realizes that they just keep fighting each other and he just wants to milk it for as long as he can. But if that were the case, he should just be 50.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that'd be really greedy, but they're not really scouting him, so why not?
Dreadlord does go ahead and pick up level 2 there, which means it can go ahead and... Although, maybe he's just going to go for Sleep, Carry on Swarm early on.
Yeah,
I think that's
standard, right?
I have no idea.
I don't know. We don't plan that.
Oof,
yeah.
He could be taken by surprise here by Prometheus. Does have his army nearby, fortunately, and should be in good shape to take this on, but he is losing quickly on that DK, and does pop off the Scroll of Invulnerability there, and we'll see if Prometheus can handle this fight. Prometheus is at 2-0 on the Wind Rider, so those are just going to go down very quickly. And this would be a great chance for Magadansky to push.
Yeah, these are going to turn to Destroyers, and Prometheus is going to be in trouble. He only has 400 gold at 46 supply. Maga should push. I don't know what he's doing. He's got to assume Prometheus has more gold, right? I mean... I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, actually, no. I think he thinks that Bryan has more gold, probably.
Well, that's right, but...
Oh, you mean then he actually does? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't expect at this point in the game, since Prometheus has been 50 pretty much the whole game, that he still only has 300 gold.
Depends how early he scouted, since it did take a while for that expansion to go up.
Yeah. You're right. The corner, meanwhile, has not been scouted at all. Otherwise, I'm sure he would have crept it.
Yeah.
The top right corner, I mean.
But regardless, I would go ahead and hit the Orc, since this is the perfect time to invest in all that magic damage. Maybe he's just waiting for his armor upgrades to go through? I don't know. He seems very chat-intensive this game.
He's very passive. I mean, I don't know. Mag could probably just end the game right now.
This is very bizarre.
Easier said than done, but
yeah.
I mean, Bryan does have decent levels, 5, 4, 1. If that Archmage hits 6 soon, then teaming, could get scary. So I could understand. Maybe he doesn't want to appear too strong, but...
Maga does have the weakest heroes right now, I think.
Yeah, but at some point, the other two players must realize, hey, no one's touched Maga all game. So he's probably got a lot of gold.
Yeah, and, I mean, his name will play against him soon. It's Magadansky card.
Yeah, he's a top player.
Here we go. Does look like he might be moving that way.
No, it looks like he just wants to play police role. Making sure no hoarding. Which I guess plays in his favor since he's got 4 running gold mines and way more gold than both
Yeah,
of them.
so 1,000 gold, 3,600, and 150. And here we go. Looks like we could have a full fight here.
Yeah. Maybe.
Magadansky does appear to be affected by lag right now. I mean, that was really slow reaction time on his part.
Long delay.
I'm not sure if
hasn't turned into destroyers.
There we go. Destroyers do come out now. The fiends are getting pulverized by this blizzard, and yeah, Magadansky must be being affected a little more by the delay than we originally suspected.
Yeah.
Because this is not going well at all for him right now.
Yeah, Maga has much better micro than what we're seeing right here.
Although it's still turning out okay for him. As long as that Lich doesn't go down, it does need to either get healed or pop invulnerability. There we go. If he can take out this Pandarian Brewmaster, though, that would be... Oof, does get staffed out just in time. So, going to turn out to be fine in the long run for him. But that he lost quite a bit more than he would have liked to, probably.
Well, I think we just saw why Maga's playing so passive. I mean, Bryan looked like he had some lag, too. So maybe just the game is laggy in general.
Could be.
But... you know, yeah, like you just said, you can't retaliate for 5 seconds. It's scary trying to show your cards and hit someone with a big attack if you know you can't micro properly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I hope the lag doesn't come into a huge play into the game. You never want to see...
Yeah, Maga's going up, though.
Yeah. You never want to see a game outcome affected because of bad lag. Damn FML bot, so bad. just kidding.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and drop you.
I'll blame the... oh wait, we're not on the bot.
I was just gonna drop you out of FML, actually.
Oh, perfect.
You know, whoever I thought should have made it this season that didn't, we'll just replace you.
I think I'm in first, just FYI.
Yeah, I can still replace you. None of the other admins are listening. It's fine.
You're right. They probably wouldn't mind. Alright, so let's see what's going on here.
I don't know. The longer this goes on, the worse feeling I have about Magadansky at the moment.
Yeah, I do too, but it looks like Prometeus thinks Bryan is the strongest. Because he has 3 mines, but Maga's had 3 mines longer. Prometeus just kind of sucks at scouting.
Yep, entirely possible. How did you feel about... Well, actually, let's see if Prometeus is going to fight here. I'm not sure if this is going to be one of those wander on the map and talk for a while, where we can speed it up to 2 times, or if they're actually going to go ahead and fight. Does look like they're buffing up there. So Prometeus is going to go ahead and hit Bryan,
Yeah,
looks like.
Fight. Yeah, this should go well for Prometeus.
We'll see how...
well, there's tanks, actually.
Yeah.
And breakers. That's a good counter to his army right now.
The Panda does have a TP on it, so...
Once that Panda hits 5, this Orc army is going to get decimated. Like Blizzard plus Breath of Fire at level 5 with Tank Fire, Wyverns just, they go down so quickly. In all my experience playing Orc, trust me. So Prometheus finally gets a 3rd expansion. It's been a while.
And he only has 1 peon mining it, but here we go. We got some others moving around here. So at what point do you think, wood-wise, you should go ahead and destroy your shredder? I mean, is it 4,000, 5,000, 8,000, 28,000?
I always end up getting way too much lumber in all my games. I think at this point, when there's not that much gold... Well, pause.
There we go. Yep, quick fight coming here. And oof, the Archmage just does go down very quickly here.
No.
This is going to be the start to a great fight from Prometheus. You would think, although all these Wyverns are going down very, very quickly, wise move to go ahead and get this out of the way, and the Blade Master is looking very low as well. They can see the Blade Master, and he's forced to TP out of there.
Oof. Okay, so that could have gone a lot worse for Bryan.
Yeah. He got lucky that he got that down so quickly.
Yeah, definitely.
And Bryan is going to go ahead and continue to push on to Prometheus, so Magadansky's sit back and relax strategy looking like it might work out here.
And Maga, meanwhile, just watching with the shade.
Yep. Although, where is that shade at the moment?
It just died.
Oh, okay. I was going to comment about how I thought a flying machine would mean it would die,
Yeah, it's been sitting there the whole time.
Maga, unfortunately, up to 550 right now.
Wow. And Maga's almost at 8,000 compared to 700 from Prometeus and only 3,000 from Bryan. If Bryan and Prometeus keep fighting, I can't see how Maga's going to lose unless he like disconnects or something.
Yeah, the only thing I'd be worried about is either disconnecting or just tanks roll in and Maga's unable to kill any of them.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe a mass TP of tanks. Even with all his gold, he wouldn't be able to defend because of lag or something.
Yeah, Prometheus is doing well so far, but I have a hard time seeing how he has any shot of winning with the amount of gold he has and the fact that Bryan looks like he's about to go start denying expos for him.
Yeah, the only way Prometheus could win at this point is if he loses a big fight, hoards this top right mine at 50, and convinces either Maga or Bryan that they need to focus each other.
I wouldn't be shocked to see Maga go ahead and team Bryan with Prometheus. I think Prometheus would be willing to do that at the moment because
I do
he's
too.
having issues
Especially,
with it.
I was gonna say especially with Bryan taking this gold mine because that's gonna be one more for him even over Maga. So
yeah,
that would give Maga a good reason to team, even though he probably knows he has the most gold. It's a good reason to convince Prometheus to help him.
Exactly. And Prometheus currently scouting and seeing that Maga is going towards Bryan, so shouldn't feel any type of threat from him. We do have to keep an eye on. Archmage is currently 400 experience from hitting level 6.
Yeah, and it's going to run right through Maga's army, it looks like. Oh, no.
He can see it. He's been carefully monitoring it, and sweep.
Why did you stop?
Oof. This is actually, it's going to draw him back in, and this could be a good fight for Bryan. He's got the advantage going downhill here a little bit. The tanks are in good position. We'll see if the Archmage stays alive. It does just barely stay alive there.
And he got a
very,
haze up,
very close, yeah.
He never really got a Breath of Fire. All the Fiends and the Necromancers were clumped up. If he could have gotten a Blizzard and a Breath of Fire going, could have been really good for him. Well, he'll probably TP back in, don't you think? After he heals?
I would think so. I mean,
Yeah,
Maga doesn't look terribly strong right now. We'll see. Yep, there we go. TP is going off right now. And this could be a bad fight for Maga if he's not careful about this position.
Yeah,
he goes ahead and wisely gets out of there. So, good job by Maga to go ahead and get out of there. He gained some experience, so well played on his part. And he showed to Prometheus that he's willing to fight Bryan 2v1.
Yeah, and he didn't really lose anything. You know, he can say, oh, I had to TP out, but he lost. See, there goes had to TP. But he only lost like one Fiend. So it looks like a strong 2v1's going to go on right now.
And oof, if you just bring these Wind Riders back a little bit, I mean, try and take out a Siege Engine with just heroes quick early on.
Yeah, not the best strategy.
Keep having them die here.
And it's awesome when the Archmage gets Spirit Link. It's like the best.
Yeah, Breakers are really the bane of Orc.
Oh, okay, the upgrade just finished. I was going to say his tanks only had one armor upgrade, but it just went up to 2. That could have been a big oversight.
Ooh, and we could see the Paladin go down right here. Nice staff on the Archmage. Surprised he didn't go for Divine Shield, but...
Yeah, him too.
So the Blademaster not too far away from level 6, which with only 5 tanks would be pretty impressive for ripping through those. But he is just being chased around through Blizzard, passes over the TP, nice TP.
But now the Archmage might die.
Ooh! Ooh!
Wow!
Archmage and the Blademaster, but Blademaster at least got experience from the Archmage dying there.
Yeah, if the Archmage had gotten that experience, it might not have died.
Yeah.
I don't know how close it was to 6.
I'm a little surprised, actually, that the Blademaster didn't hit level 6. We'll have to see what it is. And that comes the question, do they revive him, or do they go ahead and use it Tavern to revive?
No, he's reviving the Blademaster. And Prometheus, this is good for him, because now Maga's going to focus on Bryan, and Prometheus can hoard. This is exactly what he needs to do. I mean, he only has 400 gold. I know he's so far behind.
Ooh,
but
TP
this
coming
top
back
right
in
line,
here. This could be bad news for him.
He needs to get out.
Yep.
Teleport!
There's a lot of tanks there that are not going to do much damage, but he doesn't have any DPS either.
He doesn't have a Mountain King, so he can just run away. It's a downfall of not having a Mountain King in your army.
Yeah, Magadansky is up to 11,000 gold at the moment. which is double what the other two have combined.
Yeah. And it doesn't appear like they even realize how much gold he has, which is kind of baffling to me with how the game's gone on.
Mm-hmm.
But...
Well, I haven't noticed. Have you seen Bryan using his arcane towers to scout at all?
A little bit. Not
Okay.
a whole lot. I saw him scan Prometheus' main a few times. I haven't really seen him scan Maggot much. He scanned to see if he was 50. That was about it.
Let's see. So Bryan does have pretty good amount of production buildings here. He's got 3 siege engines and 3 Griffin aviaries, 2 Griffin aviaries. I'm a little surprised he's not building a few more production buildings, to be honest. Just seems like something he could use. And he's actually relatively low on wood as well, because he does have this shredder sitting idle. He just kicked 2 of his mines, so he now has a 3,500 mine and another 3,500 mine. So 7,000 gold remaining that he can get out. Maga has a 3,000 total with a 2,000 and 1,000. He does have a significant amount of production buildings for fiends if he needs fiends and gargoyles. And let's see, Prometheus should have the most remaining gold with 3,500. Yep, 7,500. So you're right. If he is able to sit here at 46 for a while, he's going to be able to get his gold up very quickly. We do see Magadansky coming into fight here, going into an uphill battle. We'll see how well he does. But the Panda is going down and does go down very quickly. Good job by him. And we'll see if the Death Knight can get back here and stay out of range.
Yeah, he should just run at this point. I mean, he got the Panda. That's what you wanted.
Yep.
Go heal up.
Although he could manage to pick off another hero here. There is no TP on the Archmage and no TP on the Paladin. And he's going to be able to chew through the siege engines here.
Yeah, this is sloppy. He should... Oh, he really shouldn't leave these like this.
Prometheus is going ahead and harassing him with the Blade Master he didn't notice, I'm guessing. And, wow, Bryan is just losing these siege engines super quickly.
Yeah, this is bad. He needs to just get rid of this mine. I mean, he can't defend at this point.
There we go. He is calling for a stop to the teaming, but Prometheus at least doesn't seem to want to, and I'm guessing Magadansky is completely okay teaming the second strongest out right now.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, it's kind of weird that Bryan has level 2 Water Elemental. He should have level 3 Blizzard and level 2 Aura. I mean, Water Elementals are pointless at this point.
Maybe he got it. He went Water Elemental or Water Elemental Blizzard, and then just forgot to buy Toma Retraining.
Yeah. Well, he should buy one. It's worth it.
I would agree.
Meanwhile, Mag is up to 13.5 now. Prometheus is up to 4,000 though, so he's getting there, and with high-level Orc heroes, I mean, he's only at 345, right?
Yep. Yeah, 345. Although he is just now only building his 3rd bestiary, which...
Well, he hasn't had more than 1,000 gold the whole game.
Yeah, but boy, that seems asking for trouble when you only have this 2 bestiaries at a time.
Yeah, it is asking for trouble.
And surprisingly, does not have a single Tauren totem.
Yeah, who built those?
Maybe, but... That would actually be a good counter for fighting Prometheus at the moment.
Or for fighting Bryan, yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
I knew what you meant. The viewers might not have, but...
By this point, okay. I'm sure they've listened to me enough that they know I say the wrong thing at least 30% of the time. Maga has kicked his 3rd mine and is about to drain the 3rd one, kick the 2nd one. And Bryan is continuing to try and defend this one, and he is at 47 at the moment. So,
Prometheus just started building because Bryan called out that he was hoarding. But he shouldn't. Okay, good, he canceled. Yeah, I was like, Maga can't get a shade in because he's got a Sentry Ward. So, who cares if Bryan knows? It's his ward against yours, you know?
Yep.
If that, I think it's going to come down to if Bryan can survive the 1 versus 2 long enough to get his Archmage to level 6, or if Prometheus gets a good engagement and his heroes get high enough level to where he can overcome a gold disadvantage in a final 1 versus 1. That's my prediction at this point. Because Maga's going to have the gold advantage over either of them.
Mm-hmm.
But army and hero-wise, I think Maga's kind of weaker at this point. I just think unless undead heroes are level 5 or higher, they aren't really very good compared to the others.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Dreadlord is close to level 4, but obviously still has the entire level 4 to progress. And the longer this goes on, I mean, Bryan is catching up on Maga's gold count pretty quickly.
Yeah. And so is Prometeus, actually.
Yeah, that's shocking to say,
I mean,
but...
consider he was at like 400 when Maga was at like 12,000.
Yeah, so, I mean, Maga is
now
at 12,500, and he's going to be there to stay, and he's only going down from here. Unless he can knock one of the players out. So, if you're in Maga's shoes, who are you hitting? I feel like it's got to be Bryan.
Yeah, it's going to be Bryan because Prometeus is still wanting to hit Bryan with you.
Yep.
So even if Prometeus is hoarding, if you can have him help enough to where you can take Bryan out and get a few levels in the meantime, then you got to feel kind of confident going into the 1v1, even if gold at that point is even. But again, it is Orc, and everyone hates Orc, so no one wants to 1v1 an Orc. Especially not me.
Yeah, no undead wants to 1v1 tanks, so.
No.
Interesting that he's adding in the Abominations and Fiends to the army right now. I like that Magadansky is actually doing a really nice job of keeping this army diverse, and it's not a Garg army.
Right. Well, Gargs kind of suck against human and Orc.
That's true.
But I feel like by getting a bombs, he's saying he's going to hit Bryan.
Yeah, I agree.
Because you don't want a bombs against, especially 0/0 bombs. Well, you don't want them, period. So you shouldn't even have them.
No, they could use Disease Cloud though. I'll see if he's researching that now.
He doesn't have it.
Yeah.
Does he?
No, I was looking to see if he was researching that at the moment, since Disease Cloud against Breakers would actually be kind of helpful.
Yeah. But
well, let's see if Maga is going to go to the expansion first, it looks like, and again, this could be bad news for Nightmare.
Yeah, we'll see.
Getting drawn in by the Blade Master.
Well, he only has 63 supply. I'm drinking too much. I can't talk anymore.
Yeah, that's 63, but it was 50 a moment ago. That's none of that 13 is actually produced yet.
Yeah, and it's against 100, so he wisely just backs up. He knows he can't fight this. And you know what? The gold mine has 590 left in it anyway, so
yep,
at this point, who cares?
Drain the other one as well, so. And
yeah,
it's time. Should be able to scout that and leave it alone. Prometeus doing an interesting job of just using his Blade Master to scout here.
Yeah, he's been doing a pretty good job, and he's kept under 50 very effectively, so... You know, I mean, he's really brought himself right into this game. He's got a much better chance at winning now compared to, I'd say, 5 minutes ago. Or 10 minutes ago. Alright, now it's gonna sit.
Yeah. I hope they don't.
I hope they don't either. I mean, Maga looks like he wants to force the issue, but Bryan just wants to try and convince him that Prometeus is the threat now.
And Bryan is actually capped at 96 at the moment. I don't see him building anything else, but if this town hall, the farm goes down, that's actually going to hurt him pretty badly.
Yep. And they will go down. He's going to have to start building some farms. Does he even have any peasants in his main? He does not.
He does have a bunch of peasants up at the expansion up here, though.
Oh, top left, yeah. That's good, because if you couldn't produce peasants, then that
would be a problem.
That would almost could be a game-ending problem.
And let's see if he realizes the problem yet, though, because I'm keeping an eye on the peasants in the top corner.
No, he's in the red at this point.
Yep, and he's not producing.
And he's gonna go straight for his main. So
yeah, if he takes down these outside, although getting battered by these towers really quickly.
Farms now.
Okay. Here we go. Maga doing a nice job of freezing the towers up. Going to go ahead and back off here. This is an interesting setup. Dangerous with the workshops being there. He doesn't have any extra workshops to produce, but it is pretty effective on that hill at guarding from the undead army coming into it.
Yeah, I actually really like the space build on this map because typically the hills are so far out they don't really come into huge effect, but with such a spread out base and the towers that far forward, it really allows him to use that to his advantage.
Oof,
And with human,
Prometeus
that's a big deal.
is going to kill off all of these peasants, and Bryan is going to be unable to...
He's got 3 supply. He can
does,
produce.
okay. Man, that's just one more farm going down, though, and that's going to be bad news.
Gosh, look how close those farms were to finishing.
Yeah.
3 of them. Killing the shredder is actually kind of helpful at this point. He doesn't need any more lumber.
Yeah, that's going to help him out, and he does have level 6 on the Blade Master now. And he thinks he can get out that way when he can't. I suppose he can run around.
It's going to be funny. You think Maga might snipe this Blade Master?
I don't know. It would seem to be kind of counterintuitive to me.
It would, but he needs experience.
Yeah, it's got a teleportation
he's gonna let it
on
go.
it. There we go. That actually works out best for him because it does force him to burn the TP, but he can also say he wasn't going to do it. He was just going for the expansion.
Right.
Prometeus is quietly heavily towered up his main as well. That is a lot
his base is pretty solid. His fortress is well protected against tanks, and towers are very good against orc. I mean, against undead.
Yep, so Prometeus is the only one with the mine left, and he's got 1,300 left on that. So we should see every player at 100 before too long.
We should.
Who knows if we will, but...
We'll see if one of them decides to go, oh, I'm weak, I can't produce an army.
I'm sure that'll happen.
I'm sure it will, but it's dumb because they've all been mining. I mean, you know... Like,
yeah.
Unless someone's an idiot, they're not going to be like, oh, you must be out of gold. There's no way to swing it. You didn't even shop at the marketplace because there isn't one.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like Bryan is going to ignore the fact that Maga's been going nonstop at him.
I wonder if we missed something in chat, because Maga's close to Prometeus as well. Did Bryan somehow convince them to 2v1 Prometeus for a little while?
Well, I mean, Maga probably is aware that Prometeus was hoarding, but I didn't see anything that would indicate he was going to help team.
He's just kind of quietly chilling over in his own little corner back here.
Yeah.
I suppose this
he might
serves
just
him
be
fine.
waiting to see. Gosh, if Blizzard was level 3, oh, he'd be doing so much better.
Let's see if the Blade Master goes ahead and uses its ultimate right here. He is going for that Archmage hard, yeah. Man, this would be perfect, though, with everything around it, all the casters.
And Maga
Bryan is, very close in that Archmage. I'm surprised that none of them have used their summons from the red camps.
I was just thinking that, too. Panda was really low
there.
Yeah,
just barely got out. He's going to take down a few of the siege engines. I like the Demolisher being added in. I think it's a nice effect for guarding the base as well.
Yeah, very nice. Maga, meanwhile, took down the empty expansion, but it got his Dreadlord to level 4. So that was pretty helpful.
And who knows, Prometeus may not have even noticed.
Well, I'm sure he's noticed now.
Yeah, but you know. Maybe it was Bryan.
I think he should mine. I mean, he's not at 100. I know it's only 1,200, but do you really think you're going to get a chance to mine it at 50 at this point?
I don't know. I feel like he is probably the lowest gold out of all of them, and I bet he probably knows he's the lowest gold out of all of them.
Yeah.
On the other hand, he's going to continue getting attacked right now. I actually like the call. I think it's kind of a gutsy call, and it's not going to help him that much, but...
Oh, really bad bats. They just stood there and got webbed.
On the other hand, the Abominations did absolutely nothing, so...
Yeah, but at least he lost them, so that's helpful. Yeah, Maga can't fight into this. I don't know what he's thinking.
Well, looks like he's thinking he can't fight into it, and he's going to go ahead and leave.
He should be thinking, I'm going to go let Bryan do it again.
Yeah. Yeah, we're seeing the weakness of Magadansky right now with the lack of being able to micro and unable to take down towers. So, unfortunately, both of his opponents heavily towered up.
Yeah. But he does still have 12,000 compared to their much less than that. 4,000 and 4,000. I don't know. This could turn into a long three-way, or someone could get pissed and just decide they don't want the other one to win. I kind of can see that happening between Bryan and Prometeus at this point.
Hey, always a chance that Magadansky goes in and disconnects as well.
Don't say that. I know the game's already happened.
It's a replay.
Gosh, that would really suck.
Yeah, it would. Bryan's army's looking pretty good right now. It'll be interesting to see how it actually handles the fight. Just because I think both the Blade Master going through the middle of it could really tear it up, and Magadansky's army pretty well counters most of it. But it looks like a pretty strong army. I'm guessing it's 90 food, actually.
Yeah, and I actually think Bryan has the best army, because with the Panda and the Archmage, I'd say he would win a fight against Maga. And against the Orc, actually. You
would think, but he actually has not been that impressive in the fight so far. The composition's
spell usage, you're right. It's not been the best. He does have that Rock Golem and the Red Drake. Red Drake's not that good, but the Rock Golem stun can be really helpful.
Absolutely, especially against Orc when you don't have any other stuns, or Undead when they get to a casting level or something.
Yeah, and with, what is this Paladin level 4? If it was level 5, I'd say he could maybe nuke one of the Undead heroes with the stun, but maybe not. I wonder, he's probably going to hit, yeah, okay. He's going to hit Prometeus again.
Makes sense, and again, the best case scenario for Magadansky. I mean, hopefully for him, Bryan takes down some of the towers here, weaken each other out. I'm curious to know what Magadansky thinks about his gold count versus the others. He's got to know it's higher, but I'm curious if he knows how much higher it is, since he's really doing very, very well compared to them.
Yeah, I mean, Maga's a really smart free-for-all player. I think he's well aware of how far ahead he is gold-wise, but I also think he's probably very concerned about his lack of fighting ability in this game, simply because of the heavy lag.
And I mean, his heroes are just lower, and it's hard to fight with lower undead heroes.
Right. So, really with undead, if you take one bad fight, you could just lose the game right there, even if you had a lot of gold.
Yep. So here we go, nice usage of the Dragonhawks right here, and
look at all those bats, oh my gosh.
Yep, here we go, we do see that Blade Master goes ahead and uses his ultimate here, takes down most of the breakers, which are you really need to work about there. Paladin goes ahead and uses Divine Shield here, and let's see how many. So we've got one Demolisher back there. You can see that the effect it's having. However, Siege Engine's doing quite a bit of damage just by themselves, kind of lone ransacking stuff. But you can see all the casters just going down here. It looks like, I mean, from
level 6
hero perspective, I'd give it to Prometeus, but just the damage he's doing, Nightmare is doing a very nice job of ransacking the base. It looks like the fortress could go down. If that happens, that'll be bad news bears for him.
Yeah, it's going to go down. There it goes. And Prometeus now, gosh, if he used that Rock Golem, he could have killed.
Oof, Paladin is going to go down here, and Guts go down, yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
I'm just amazed he hasn't used it. He could have killed the Shadow Hunter or the Blade Master. You better TP, dude.
If he has Hex, yeah, that would have been bad news. Yes, I mean, on one hand, you think, okay, Prometeus did a pretty good job. He killed more units. His heroes got good experience out of that. But on the other hand, look at his base. It's just...
yeah.
He's almost done. And if Magadansky could come in here and clean up, yep. The smart play coming in.
Wait, he's backing up. What is he doing?
Nope, he's sending his army in to go hit the actual units here, it looks like.
Oh, okay.
He realized that the expansion was pretty much out of gold, wasn't worth it, and he wants to go ahead and get... I guess he is going to go ahead and kill those peons, but I think he was trying to get as much easy experience as possible. Has to be careful that he doesn't let these bats actually do any damage to his army, though.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, if you're Bryan right now, are you thinking, should I try and get Prometeus to help me, even though I just suicided him, or are you thinking you can 1v1 Maga? You know what I mean? Like,
I think you're thinking you got to get Prometeus to help you, unless he's way, way underestimating how much gold Maga has. But I mean, he's seen his fights.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think so. You'd think that, regardless, you'd think Maga has at least 8,000, which at that point, you know, that's still 4 times the amount of gold you have.
Oh yeah, Bryan. It looks like Bryan and Prometeus just are really pissed at each other and are going to suicide each other.
Yeah, so maybe an easy win for Maga, unfortunately, but Maga is going to go ahead and clean up here. You almost wonder if he's not afraid that he's going to piss Prometheus off here. Bats come in, do good bit of damage, but
Yeah, pretty good damage.
nothing that's going to save him, I don't think.
I don't
Although
think so.
his low heroes are really going to hurt him. I mean, he is actually unable to fight in the towers against these 3 orc heroes right now.
And interestingly enough, Bryan just said to Prometheus that we could peace now, but I don't think Prometheus will, because he's so pissed off at him. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's, I don't know. I mean,
This is just this shows lack of experience. I mean, I understand that you get pissed off, you just got your base tanked. It seems like Bryan's been suiciding you the whole game, but you can't let your emotions prevent you from the best chance to win.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Prometheus could win with high-level orc heroes and 1,000 gold still, but he's not going to give himself the chance because he's too pissed off.
Which this may actually work out fine for Magadansky, assuming that Prometheus does continue to hit Bryan, then not killing him off is not going to be a bad thing for Magadansky. But you know, Maga really wanted to go ahead and get a little extra hero level since he does need them. And now he's got to be thinking about pretty much going just really heavily on the Frostworms.
Yeah, and that was kind of funny watching Prometheus kill Maga's 100 army with like 40 food.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
But,
once the Frostworms went down, you could tell there's just pretty much no DPS.
Right. I don't know. I think this is shaping up to be kind of anticlimactic ending.
Yeah.
We're just gonna suicide each other, and Maga's gonna sit with a 100 food army and 8,000 gold left.
I mean, that'd be smart.
I mean, can't blame the guy. I don't know. I feel like this is an interesting game because Bryan, overall, I think Bryan played pretty well, but it's not going to matter.
If he somehow manages to go ahead and get a couple of kills off here, get that Paladin up to level 5, I don't think he's going to lose anything right now unless his casters get in the way of the Blade Master.
Right.
He's got... he's sitting at 50. That's interesting. So, I had not realized he only had 300 gold left.
Right, they're both dead broke.
I thought that he had like 1,500.
Nope.
Well,
yeah. His play was, and this is what I'm guessing was his play based on what his chat was he's going to suicide into Prometheus, so that they were both clearly weaker than Maga, and then try and have Prometheus help him team Maga. And that's a solid 3-way free-for-all play. It happens in almost all 3 ways at some point in varying degrees. But Prometheus was too pissed to go through with it.
Yeah,
so
he wasn't able to judge his opponent well enough. And now we do have Prometheus going to attack Bryan, which, again, this is going to really help out Magadansky.
yeah, I mean, at this point, there's no way Maga can lose unless he disconnects.
I don't know. Never say never.
My thoughts exactly, ZT So-So. Maga won without having to do anything.
I mean, it's somewhat interesting that Maga is actually moving around.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not like Maga to win without doing anything. Usually he's forcing the aggression or trying to chat more, or, you know, he's usually heavily involved in the game in some aspect.
I think it's interesting he's actually attacking Prometheus, though, when Prometheus is hell-bent on suiciding Bryan. I'd be a little worried that that actually give him a reason to attack me.
Yeah, but, you know, he's undead with lower heroes and orc. He just lost his 100 food army to 3 heroes, so he's probably thinking,
Base kill him.
I don't want to risk losing the 3 heroes.
And I don't know if he saw the 3 orc heroes with his scout earlier, but Prometheus is going ahead and taking out all the towers, which is helpful.
He must be lagging.
Yeah, I think so. Maga asked for a save, so I'm thinking that means that. Hopefully somebody saves soon.
Let's see. Maybe Bryan will just kill Prometeus before you need to save.
Yeah.
Nice around on the Tarn Chieftain. Let's see if he pushes hold position. Yep.
Somewhat surprised that the Blade Master didn't try and go ahead and pop him out there.
Maybe he doesn't know about that bug.
Maybe so. Well, we will see the Torn Chieftain go down, and what were you going to say?
Look at the top left corner.
Go Demolishers.
That's so awesome. Oh, this is like hardcore suicide.
Yep. Bryan's got a pretty good shot at getting 11 points, though.
Prometheus' heroes are too high, I think.
You think?
Well, I don't know. Bryan did mine more, so... Yeah, he might. It depends. His heroes are only 665. Maga's only a level behind. So, I think Maga will probably end up with the top score after this last fight, or last few fights, however many it takes.
There we go. Down goes that Archmage, and Maga can go ahead and clean up here.
Yeah. I think this will give him enough experience to take top score.
Yeah, I think so too. We do
Finally,
see 6
he used
there.
the summon. And it died in a second.
And the Panda goes down. What summon did Magadansky get? I don't even remember.
He didn't. He got the Scroll of Restoration.
Oh, okay.
He used it like toward the beginning of the game. At his first fight with Bryan.
Well, this was a little anticlimactic.
Yeah, it was.
You know,
I mean,
I kept holding out hope that it might be good. Well,
it
he
had
made it a
potential to
free
be
win.
good. It had a potential to be a good three-way, but too much suiciding.
Yeah, a little too emotionally invested by Prometheus.
It's not like people can blame Maga. I mean, like he just said, you made it a free win. Like, who in his shoes aren't gonna just take advantage of the situation? And good for him. I mean, his previous 2 games. Actually, I didn't watch one of them. The one I watched, he got teamed so hardcore. And I think he took 11 points in that game. And it was one of those games where you left the game thinking, wow, Maga should have won.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad he qualified for the season. He's clearly deserving, even though this game, maybe he wasn't deserving in this game.
Karma comes back.
Yeah, exactly. He's deserving to qualify for the season, of course. I don't think anyone can argue that. If they try to, then they're new to the free-for-all community.
I can make an argument for Maga not making it.
Clearly, Mage should have qualified for the season instead of Maga.
Obviously, my 0 games gave me a much better winning percentage than Maga.
I'm trying to think. Oh, no, that's mean. I won't say that. Never mind.
Now I want to hear it.
I could think of a few people. Like,
oh.
clearly Fail Life or LSR should have qualified for the season. Maybe Feta Ook.
I honestly
Alright, I'll
have
stop.
pretty much never seen any of them play. I've seen Fail Life play.
You're probably better off.
Actually, the last game I saw Fail Life play was one where he got brutally teamed out by J33 and Ugri.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait,
he
was
had
this, how long
dominated
ago
the
was
game.
this?
I don't know. Well, it was when Ugri was still playing, so.
Yeah, that's why I asked.
I think it was like season 13
Clearly it
or
was.
season 12.
Oh,
They
okay.
just like it was when J33 was actually still relatively new, and Life actually really played very well that game, except he didn't know how to handle the teaming, and Ugri had basically a free win out of it, and then somehow blew it at the end.
Fail Life is, I don't know how now we're talking about Fail Life, but he's one of those weird players where you watch him play and like he knows how to play free for all.
Mm-hmm.
He's been around forever.
Really good micro too.
He has decent micro, but he like it's obvious that he never ever practices or plays at all. Like he probably just only plays those FML matches for the past like 3 years, and you can't really be successful doing that.
What about me? I was very successful by only playing my FML matches.
Have you been successful, Mage?
I have. I won seasons
Define
1 through
success
13.
to you. Showing up and playing in a match is not success.
It isn't? Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure. Oh. Oh, he was defeated before he could finish Bryan's buildings. What does Bryan have? He has 5 supply. Where is it?
I don't know. Let's go ahead and actually do something relatively productive on here. So we'll start with all our players. Audigy, what did you think that he needs to improve upon? And limit it to 30 seconds.
To 30 seconds. Well, Audigy should not harass both players from the start of the game with a level 1 Death Knight. And he should also not play anymore. And just kidding. I don't know. His game was awful. I mean, there's nothing. I can't even think of anything good about his play. I know he said he had lag. I don't know how bad it was. But even if he didn't have lag, he literally started the game trying to fight 1v2. So it's just not going to work out.
Yeah. Okay. What about Prometeus?
Prometeus, I think overall his game wasn't that bad until the end.
Actually, I disagree kind of. I thought his game at the end was fine. I mean, there was a suiciding thing, but that's a conscious choice to continue the suicide. I thought the big weakness was he just didn't expand early enough.
Yeah, that's a weakness. He also didn't scout well enough. Like, he didn't realize that Maga had the same amount of gold mines as Bryan, and he kept saying in chat, look, Bryan has half the map, but Bryan had the same amount of gold mines, except Maga hoarded longer. So, to not be aware of that on such a small map is it's just bad. It's not kind of bad, it's bad. But he put himself back into the game very well. He won most of the fights he took. He built a pretty strong main that he could defend. And he hoarded very well to put himself back in the game. And I think had he not held that huge grudge against Bryan, I think this game could looked a lot different. I think he might have potentially had a shot. So taking that element into consideration, I'd say his game had positives and negatives. Definitely things he can work on.
Yeah. Okay. What about Bryan?
Bryan, I think, played a pretty good game. His battle micro was probably the weakest part of his game. I think.
Yeah.
Had he fought better, all of his decisions were pretty solid. All of his.
He overcommitted a little bit on Prometeus, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. Oh, he did get 11 points, barely.
Yep. Wow. Doesn't get a whole lot closer than that. Good choice to leave when he did.
He did. He didn't leave.
Oh, he didn't?
He might have left with like 1 or 2 buildings left. I don't know. I stopped watching. But, yeah, just small things like not retraining Blizzard level 3. His use of Blizzard, he kept hitting his own tanks a lot. Sometimes it was on point, sometimes it wasn't. Those kind of things, when you're really relying on your Blizzard and your Panda to be the primary damage output for your army, you have to micro well. At least those 2 heroes' abilities you have to micro well. So I think he could work on that.
Yeah. Okay. And what about Magadansky, excluding the obvious of being able to micro because you're not lagging?
Yeah, I mean, this game is kind of hard to say for Maga. He wasn't
really is. It was not really Maga's type of play usually.
And I feel like Maga wasn't even a part of the game. I mean,
that's kind of true. He just kind of sat there and then he was able to pull off the win.
He tried to make himself a part of the game, like by teaming Bryan or even hitting Prometeus at times when Prometeus was helping him. It was almost like he was saying, like, someone fight me. But no one wanted to fight him. They just wanted to suicide each other. So,
yeah,
he put himself in the position to win. He didn't have to work real hard to win, but you can't fault him for that. He put himself in the position and he won. So,
all right, well, yep, congrats to Maga for making the season. Possible congrats to Bryan for making it. I probably should know this since I'm an admin, but we'll find out before too long. And thank you all for watching. We'll be back soon. This is Mage.
And this is Mog.
And we'll catch you all later.